Hello students, today we are going to perform the practical of the title Oil and Grease Separation of the Wastewater. It gives you the total quantity of the oil and grease present into the wastewater, and for that we are going to use the reagents and apparatus which we will be seeing here. The apparatus used here is the measuring cylinder, pipettes, the petri dish and the conical separating funnel. In this, with the stand, the reagents used here are laboratory solvent H2SO4 of concentration 1:1 and petroleum ether. So first of all we will take the initial weight of the petri dish. So we'll take the initial weight of the petri dish, which is 27.680 grams. Now we'll take 50 ml of wastewater sample that is collected from a residential source. Okay, we have taken 250 ml of wastewater sample. We'll pour it into the separating funnel. Now, as you know, the residential wastewater is containing all the types of kitchen waste and the washouts from the bathrooms and the contents of detergents. So we have to calculate the concentration of oil and grease from the residential sources. So first of all, we have to add 2 to 3 ml of lab solvent. We will be adding 2 to 3 ml of laboratory solvent. So I'll add 3 ml into it. I'll pour it into directly into the sample. Next to be added is 1 next reagent we are going to add is petroleum ether, 10 ml. So we'll be adding 10 ml of ether into the sample. Place the cap and mix all the contents properly. Make sure the knob is closed. Place the funnel back into the stand and open the cap. Make it rest for a few minutes. A thin layer of oil content has been deposited at the top surface, which we want to separate out using the funnel. For that, we will discard the lower content of water into a beaker. By opening the knob, the water content can be discarded, and as the water is discarded, the oil level will reduce down. Now here you can just distinguish between the water and the oil layers. So first of all, discard all the water content as much as possible you can. Okay, I have stopped it because the oil content has reached the limit. I'll place this aside. I'll take the petri dish of which I had taken the initial weight, and I'll discard the content, oil content, into this petri dish. Discard all the oil contents into this petri dish. You can see the oil globules here. Let the whole content empty down. The next step is you can see the oil globules present here. That has to be determined, and it is also containing some part of liquid or water which needs to be discarded by evaporating. For that we use the muffle furnace equipment, which is already preheated, and into which we will be placing this petri dish. We have placed the petri dish into this muffle furnace, and it is heating. Now you can see here the bubbles have arisen due to the heating process, and a typical smell is emitted out of the chemicals we have poured in, like lab solvent and petroleum ether. Due to this heating process, the water will be first eliminated out and then the oil contents, but we will stop the process as and when the liquid portion dries up. Why? Because we need only to calculate the oil portion or oil content into the wastewater. As you know, the viscosity of oil is less as compared to water. The flow condition, the water flows rapidly as compared to oil. The fluidity condition here you can see is still in flowing condition, so we'll wait till it dries up. Now you can see it has all dried up and only the oil contents are present into this. We'll stop the heating and let this dish cool down at the room temperature, and then we will let it cool down at the room. Now the dish has cooled down at the room temperature, and you can see the final weight of the petri dish. Why? Because the oil contents that has dried up into the petri dish has increased the weight of the petri dish, and it has reached up to 27.736 grams. You can note this as the final weight of the petri dish, and we will be using these readings for the further calculations.